today I will be talking about an archetype that I hold very dear to me, and I'm giggling. Why am I giggling? Because the archetype is already working through this video. I just recorded the video, disappeared, nothing recorded, and here we are, and I'm starting again, and I'm giggling because how aligned with this archetype that is. How aligned. Can you guess which archetype I'm talking about? Maybe a little. I'm talking about the Trickster. The Trickster. Our funny little friend. This archetype has been such a significant point of learning and growth for me on my journey because I resonate so deeply with the freedom of chaos. The ability to slip through the cracks, the kind of watery, fluid consciousness that is unbound by the limitations of this world. It is both the greatest blessing and the most elusive point of our shadow and obstacles internally and externally. This trickster force. Let's get into it. Why is the trickster so powerful? Why is the trickster so needed? Well, in our world, we are bound by very rigid structures, rigid systems, rigid rules that keep us locked into specific ways of seeing, thinking, being, doing, approaching. And we don't realize that there's an incredible amount of energy, power, consciousness on the other side of these boxes that surround us. The trickster is the liberating agent of our consciousness that says, yeah, they may be telling you to do it this way, but look over there. What's that? What's this? Let me peek under here a little bit. Let me, wiggle my way through this corridor. It isn't deterred by the way the world tries to place an idea of how things are. The trickster is this chaos, this freedom, this flow that knows that no matter what, there's always a door, there's always a path, there's always something to flip on its head and revert and dissolve and transform. It is so boundless and so brilliant in its ability to move in such grace and freedom, because the biggest obstacles to our freedom is not necessarily the things that we're doing or not doing. It's the things we're not allowing ourselves to see in relationship to that freedom. And those things that we can't see, the trickster illuminates, sometimes in a way that feels good, sometimes in a way that feels kind of horrifying. I adore the trickster for its untouchability. It's just got this ability to fly above all that would try to contain it, all that would try to keep it clasped. And I think it's such a necessary archetype for modern times, because we are in a state of flux. We are in a state of shifting systems, shifting ideologies, shifting philosophies, a greater global collective, a greater interconnectivity. There's so much more substance and a lot less definition and defined boxes and boundaries that feel good to us. So the trickster teaches you how to navigate that formlessness, because what I believe the trickster truly exemplifies is this understanding that if I'm present with myself in every moment, that is the magic, because that is what allows me to see what is there that the mind may block, the mind may not connect to. My body, my presence, my energetic freedom and openness, my innocence, my naivete is what allows me to actually get exactly where I want to go in every single path I choose to walk. So let's talk about some trickster archetypes in myth and history and gods and goddesses. So we have Hermes, the Greek god. We have Loki, the Norse god. We have Coyote, Raven of Native American lore. We have Kokopelli, also Hopi lore. These are all trickster figures. There are dimensions to their nature that reveal the deeper truths of what it means to walk as the trickster that can be very valuable. If you look at pop culture, you have the figure like the Joker, who's a kind of anarchistical trickster. The trickster is incredibly liberating, incredibly disruptive, freeing, and allows you to become the truly influential person that you're meant to be, because what keeps people from being influential is not their gifts, it's not their grace, it's not their power, their mastery. It is actually their ability to tap into new dimensions of reality that others aren't able to see. And where does that come? That comes purely from trickster energy. So, when it comes to the trickster force, you have to allow yourself to move with detachment, simply because the moment you try to attach to an idea of how things are, how things work, where things are going, is the moment it will flip on its head and play with you. The beauty of the trickster is also a point of its shadow, in the sense that it will play with you. It will play with you. It will test your strength. It will test your fortitude in terms of your fluidity, in your adaptability. You have to allow yourself to evolve and shift. And if you do not, and you are in alignment with the current of the trickster will play games. It will bring a little bit of that court jester vibe into your life, into your little throne. It will show you that a lot of what you think you are, a lot of how you think you operate, or a lot of how you think you live and what you think you mean and represent to the world, at the end of the day, it's just formless molecular juice. And the most powerful thing you could do is not give it any power. The most powerful thing you could do is remain adaptable and fluid, so that you can commune with the currents of life and primordial consciousness in such a way that allows you to truly meet something bigger, something much greater than anything your rigid mind could hold. The trickster is your friend. The trickster is a blessing that can feel like a curse, simply because it challenges us and it forces us to become comfortable with chaos. If you are uncomfortable with chaos, with lack of control, with a sense of not knowing and uncertainty, and just that formless melting pot of life, then the trickster will feel very threatening. But if you're centered in your stillness, the trickster will feel like the most loving, magical friend you will ever have. So my invitation for you today is to play with the trickster. Call upon the trickster. If you want to call in a specific god energy, I gave you some examples. If you want to play with an archetype, you want to play with a pop culture piece, if you want to embody it, just call upon the trickster. You'll be surprised. I also have to share this funny story. So you see this tattoo? That was my first tattoo. And the beauty of that is that it's a jester. It's a funny little jester guy. But the funny thing about that is that the way it looks like, when I'm looking at it, it looks like a Jabba the Hutt with a bikini. Which is so trickster, you know? I just think it's perfect representation of how this force works. So I love you. Thank you for watching. Follow my channel for more content like this. This is the movement of the Primordial Princess, and I can't wait to have you come along. I love you. Bye.